Hello, this is Hamid, and in this session, I'm gonna teach you how to set up the global protect in Palo Alto firewall. As you can see that in this diagram, we have a Palo Alto firewall with the uh, IP address of 10.10.10.1, and the Windows machine is connected to the Ethernet 1.1 with the IP address of 10.10.10.2. So this is our management um, uh, machine that I've already set up the network interfaces, and as you can see that we have two interface here, Ethernet 1/1, and the other one is Ethernet/2 that I haven't set it. So I can set this interface as trust interface, and what I'm gonna do, change this one as layer 3, and the virtual router is gonna be default, and the security zone is gonna be we don't have a trust here, or I can change the interface from the zone. Here we have trust, so I change this tab to layer 3, and now we have Ethernet 1/2 that is assigned to trust zone. The next step is gonna we're gonna configure the certificate in the device. So I'm gonna generate a new certificate. I call that VPN or Global Protect certificate, and the common name is gonna be 10.10.10.1, and check the smart for security authority. You can add some attributes, but for this step I just leave it as default and generate the certificate. The next step, create the TLS profile. So I create the TLS profile, and assign the certificate that I've created in previous step, GP Global Protect certificate, and assign that to my TLS profile. Then I go to user and create a user here. I create the user like my name Hamid, and the password for this user. The next step is creating the authentication profile. So I'm gonna create the authentication profile here, authentication profile, and the type is gonna be local database, advanced. Here you can allow all user or just a specific user. I just select my name Hamid here, and now we're good to go to Global Protect. So here in the gateway, click and add, and create the name as a gateway. The interface gateway is gonna be, if you look at the diagram, Ethernet 1.1 is your gateway, 10.10.10.1. So Ethernet 1.1 and the IPv4, that's correct, 10.10.10.1. So here you should clarify or identify the authentication. So you have created the TLS profile in previous step, so you assign that to SSL TLS service profile. Then here is for the authentication and the certificate profile. If you have a certificate profile, you can assign that. And for the client authentication, I just add the name client authentication. Any OS it can connect to this device. The authentication profile is going to be authentication profile that I've created in previous step, and I click OK for this step. For agent, you select the tunnel mode, and here the tunnel mode you select the tunnel 1 that you created for this step. And here we have a different options that you can assign the maximum user, timeout settings, client IP pool, that you can set the client IP pool here like 16.10 until 172.16.120. Alright, and the client settings, let me configure the client settings here again. Client settings. In Global Protect we have lots of options for configuring, and that's really important to know that how to configure that. So client settings and user and group, leave it as a default. IP pool, leave it as a default. If you have direct access to local network, you can define it here as 192.168.10 like 0/24. Okay, and network services, you can set the network DNS or other settings here. I'll leave it as a default and click on OK. So now we have created our gateway. Let's go to another step and create the portals. So I click on the portals and create the portal. The interface again is your interface 1/1 IPv4 10.10.10.1 as your IPv4 address. The login page and the landing page, you can change this profile. Actually I leave it as default because that's gonna be good for our project. And again, it's asking for TLS profile. I assign a TLS profile that I've created previously. And the client authentication again, created again. Authentication profile again is going to be the authentication profile. This is the same as the gateway. So here in the agent, we should define the agent. So again, agent config, client certificate. If you need the client certificate, you can set it as here, or if you don't have, just leave it as default. Internal gateway is gonna be the IP base, and it's gonna be my gateway and 10.10.10.1, and just like that. I don't have an external gateway application. Again, you have some configuration here. If you want to change that, you can set it like the connection methods and other options. So click it OK. Here is really important, trusted root CA. You should add Global Protect certificate and click on this one. And what else do we need here? For the clientless VPN, if you need a clientless VPN, you can click on this option. And I think that's the configuration for the portal. The next step is gonna be creating profile, creating policy from VPN to from VPN to untrusted interface. So I call it VPN to untrusted. You can create different security profiles or security policy, but I just add the source here from VPN to untrusted, or you can set add as untrusted to VPN. It means that between these two zones, traffic is allowed. So I create this policy, and now I commit my configuration. So here we have a warning that Zone VPN does not have a enable user identification for the global protect. So I'll go to network and zones. Here for VPN, I enable the user identification here, and then commit it again. Okay, perfect. Now I go to Windows machine and enter 10.10.10.1. So now if I click on that and enter the username and the password that I've created, I can log into Global Protect. Now let's try to use the Global Protect agent. I've already installed on my Windows machine, and I enter you can set it here. Actually, in the setting you can set the portal IP address, and if you connect through the Global Protect, it's asking you username password, so you can enter the username password that you have created in the firewall, and you should be able to connect to the firewall. So it connected to the firewall and the connection was successful. I hope this has been informative, and thanks for watching.